Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today my topic is why you have fear and how to release it. This is a very important topic, especially right at this moment with a lot of this going on. So I do suggest to watch the whole video because there will be a lot of points that I don't want you to miss out on. Also, I want to remind you to please like and share my videos and have your friends subscribe because everyone needs this information of truth so everyone can awaken and live a happy, loving life. So, this is an intense subject. So I don't want to miss out on any key points. So I will be referring to some of my notes this time. Now, first of all, the reason you fear is because you've been indoctrinated in fear. So, there is nothing on this planet at this moment in time, other than from people like me, of course, that doesn't speak of fear. Now, some of you might think you don't have any fear, or some of you might think that, well, I only fear this, that, or whatever. Trust me, you fear a lot of things. And in order to have the life that was meant for you means you need to get rid of every single solitary thing you fear. So ask yourself, what is it that you fear and why do you fear it? Now, some of you aren't as analytical as I am, so I'm going to help you with this. It's so easy for me. Now think, ever since you were born, you've been warned. You've been told, don't do this, don't do that, because of all the things that could happen to you. All the bad things that could happen to you. And as you kept growing older and older, everything on television is fear-based. Going to the doctor is fear-based. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor, but what I'm saying is be aware of what you hear from the doctor. And if it's fearful, don't fall into it. Think about the movies that you watch. Ever since you were a baby, Disney cartoons are all about fear. Movies are all about fear. Then there's horror flicks and robberies and wars and killings and shootings, and all of this is fear-based. The only way to rise above it is to switch your focus, because what you think, you create. And mostly everybody's thoughts tend on the negative side. And I will remind you again, when you are negative, you are attached to fear energy, because there's only love energy or fear energy. So you attach yourself to the fear energy. And because there's so much fear here, all over the world, you draw in every single person's fearful energy. And it is so strong and powerful that one little simple negative thought can turn into major trauma, major depression, all the way up to suicide, because you feel like there's no way out. Now, think about it. If you think of fear-based thoughts and it happens to you like that, what do you think it would be like if you were positive? If every thought and word that you expressed was positive, then you would draw in all the positive energy and you wouldn't have any fear. And don't tell me it's hard. I don't even want to hear it. Because if you say it's hard, I will remind you again, whatever you think is what you create, and then it will be hard. You just knee-jerk into negative thoughts, and sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. You need to be mindful of what you think. In order to change what you think, you need to be aware of what you say and how negative your thoughts and words are. The other thing is I see the negative energy. So when you are around negative energy, you attach to their negative energy. Negative energy comes around me like all the time. I mean, sometimes I just feel like I don't even want to leave my house. It doesn't matter where I go. If one person is in a room with 100 other people, and that one person is depressed and fearful, that energy attaches to everybody in the room. That's what it does. Now, wouldn't you prefer to have that love energy attached to you? Do you remember what it felt like when you first met someone who you thought was, Mr. Dreamboat or Mrs. Queen for you? And that feeling that you have? Well, that feeling is running rampant through the universe, and that's the love energy. Every day I walk outside, and I'm not in a relationship, but I swear it feels like I am. I'm in a relationship with the universe. I'm in a relationship with myself. I'm in a relationship with love energy. And that's how I feel, uplifted. And when I don't, because of course something can hit me, some past that's still coming up for me to transmute and change, then I go right back to breathing. I go right back to saying positive affirmations, because positive affirmations lifts you out of your present state of mind. So remember to breathe. If you're around negative people or negative thoughts start to creep in, stop, breathe at least 3 times, and start saying positive affirmations. I am happy. If you're not, I am happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. I am free. I am blessed. I am love. I am all that I am, and all that I am is love. I am connected to my Father, Mother, God. I mean, all of that stuff raises your vibration and snaps you right out of that drama that you just started to put yourself in. So, let me think here. Okay, so right at this particular time, I don't want to forget this, the flu shot is running rampant. And I would please advise you to not take the flu shot. This is another plot and another ploy to trap you into more sickness. Now think about it. How do they know what flu strain is around? They have no clue. And trust me, they never have, they never will. They just make you think these things. And then you all fear getting the flu. And then you start in with the fearing of being around other people, being around people that are sick, catching it, and all that stuff is all fear-based information. So you do what I've told you to do in the past. You don't think about it, you don't worry about it, and you definitely don't take that flu shot. You don't think you're going to get it, because you will create it for yourself. I'm always going to remind you, almost every video, that what you think is what you create for yourself. If you get the flu, don't blame anybody but yourself, because you brought it to you. That's how life works. Nobody on this planet does anything to you. Nobody on this planet gives you their illness. Nobody on this planet does anything to you. You do it to yourself by your own thoughts and your own beliefs. So think about the news, okay? Other than the fact of wars and bombings and murders, oh my. Like, why are there murders? Who knows? So, people go, I want to live in a safe place. Negative. If you're so worried about where you live because you think another place is safer than somewhere else, that's erroneous. What is a safe place? You are always safe, always guided, always protected. They're only going to bring out things that happen to people, and guess what? Do you know why anything happens to anyone? No, you don't. Do you need to know why? No, you don't. Because you don't know about other people's soul growth, their lessons. So don't worry about walking out in the evening time. All of this stuff is fear-based information, and it isn't here to protect you. It's here to do the opposite. They don't care about you. Face it. How could it be so difficult to release fear when you know that it's man-made? Fear is false evidence appearing real. That's all it is. You attach yourself to it, and then you create it for yourself. Does that make sense? What else do you fear? Being in a car accident. Oh my God. Fear of being ill. Fear of dying. Why would you fear death? Death isn't real, but you don't know that. Death is a transition out of this planet into your home. You are back home in love-only energy. And you only are with the people at the same vibrational rate that you are, not anyone else. So the more you raise your vibration, when you transition off Earth, you are with other people who are exactly like you as far as your energy goes, your vibration. Now me, I vibrate as high as Jesus. So if I left the planet, that's who I would be with. I saw him with my own eyes in living color, having a long conversation with Gandhi. Gandhi's another person who has transitioned and raised his vibration and only came here to help all of you. Jesus is a star being like me. He is from a star nation. That's how it works. That's how it works. I feel sorry for all of you who are so wrapped up in dogma, so fear-based religious information that I almost cry for people who write that they're God-fearing. Like they're so proud that they fear God. That makes no sense to me. It means really that they fear themselves because we are our own God. We have powers. We have powers to create, to manifest. So you release your fear, use your power to do it. And don't say, oh, it's hard. No, just change what you think. As soon as a fear-based thought comes to your mind, then just say, stop. I'm not putting that out in the universe. I don't mean it. I love myself. The world is love only. Period. Dot. That's all you have to do. Every single time. If you practice this, it will become natural for you. It is natural for me. It only took me 3 months to practice, to be naturally happy, not fearful, because I've released fear a long time ago. I wrote a book back in 2009. It was my first book, How to Step Out of Fear and Reclaim Your Life. I haven't really lived in any kind of fear except fear of, not even of dying, but just fear of the feeling of like a roller coaster ride. And I've like said, when I transition out of this body, please don't make it go fast. That's what I fear. So I need to quit that. I even had a dream that I was going through the tunnel and it was going so fast that I got dizzy. And I'm laughing at myself because it is funny. Now, the weather. You fear the weather. If the weather storms are powerful, we have those tornadoes or hurricanes or whatever you call them in, Panhandle, Florida, and the typhoons, they call those in China or whatever. And it just wiped out cities. And, I seriously don't know if that was geoengineered or part of the plan, because the earth is being cleaned up. Land is being reconfigured. Other planets are coming to surface. They will be. I had a dream way back in the 80s of what's going on right now. It has yet to happen, but everyone's talking about the event. And when the event shows up here, a big wave is going to come across this planet and awaken all of you to someone different, someone easier to love, someone who doesn't even remember being attached to fear. And of course, there will be those who won't pick that up. Those people who are dead set in their woes and agonies and their dramas that they still need to deal with. Because trust me, there are still people here who need the drama for some reason. Their soul is not ready. Now, eventually they will transition off the planet. And I've heard stories, and I'm not going to repeat them because I only speak about my own experiences, things that I truly believe because I've experienced it. Now, death. Everybody fears death. Everybody mourns and cries and is saddened over their lost loved ones. I mean, I can understand that it's tough to be without someone. And the reason is because you've all attached yourself to these people and animals in a way that creates this sadness and fear. I'm not a cold person, and those who know you know that about me. I am very loving, compassionate, and empathetic, and I feel everything. I just know that it was never anything to fear, not anything to stress over. I mean, I lost my mother. I've mentioned this before. I didn't even go to her funeral. I wasn't invited. I wasn't told. And that's not a story I need to get into. But really, while my father was still alive, he would bring it up every year, the anniversary of her death. Why? Why does any of you do that? Why do you go back and talk about how awful and sad you feel and keep reminding yourself of that pain that you felt when you are not helping that person at all? Now think about it. If you could just one day, become a ghost, be a spirit that everyone thinks has left the planet, that you can't talk to anymore, and you can't tell these people how happy and fine that you are. You can't tell these people that you're still around and still following them and still guiding them and still seeing all of their goals and whatever. And then all you do is cry and mourn. And how do you think that makes them feel? You don't help them. Now, that's how it works. That is the truth. Some of you might go like, well, how do you know that, Maxine? Because like I mentioned just a few minutes before, I do not speak about anything I have not experienced. In fact, at 5:40 a.m. this morning, my first husband, I can count mine because I've had 3, whatever, my first husband passed of cancer. Now, did I cry? No. Did I feel sad? No. I was very happy for him because he was a very sad, lost soul. I met him when I was 15 years old, and we got married only because I got pregnant with our daughter. And we were only married for 4 years, but we were strongly connected because we were teenagers. We were young when we met, and you're very impressionable at that age. And plus, he was the person who taught me a lot of the things that I know. And, my first everything. I was his first everything. So we've always been connected on that level. In any case, he wasn't a good husband. He wasn't a good boyfriend. And I just want to tell you, my daughter texted me probably around 6 o'clock that he had passed, but I was still asleep. So I would say around 8 o'clock this morning, I read her message. And the first thing I did was speak to him and told him, I hope he's doing fine. I hope he's okay, blah, 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 blah. And then about 3 or 4 hours later, he came to me and I could feel his sadness. He was crying. And what happens when you leave the planet is your whole life passes before your eyes. That is true. And you see all the hurt and the pain that you've caused other people. And this is why it's so important to release and forgive everyone who's hurt you, because it's not necessary to hold on to it at all. Anyway, I told him, do not cry and do not be upset. I have forgiven you years and years ago. I'll let that whole thing go. I understand the reasons why things happen, whatever. And I told him that. And I could tell that he was still sad. And then he left. And then about an hour later, he came back. And he was in a completely different space. Because I'm sure he's around grieving over all the people that he's harmed. Because we all do it, that. Simple little things too. Whatever you do that's not positive creates karma. That's just how it is. And it doesn't hurt anybody but yourself. So in any case, he was happy, he was laughing, and then I absolutely knew about a past life that we had had together. A psychic in Denver told me, a past life psychic, probably back in 1983. And so he told me about another life that we had together. and it was in Atlantis. And he was an ambassador, and I was a high priestess, and I was older than him. This life, he was 2 years older than me. You know, age doesn't mean crap, Ola people. Anyway, so death is not something to mourn over. It's not a reality. Because when you all awaken, when you release all your fear and you turn into love energy, this planet will blossom into heaven, and then you will see everyone, because we'll all be together, because we are together. Like I said, I had a conversation with him this morning. So everyone is here. They're not resting in peace in some dirt ground, and you all go to some grave site that you spent $20, $30, $40,000 on some coffin and some funeral, which is throwing your money away, people. That's what you're doing, but it's your choice. You all have choices to do what you want. But I'm going to speak my opinion. Why? Because I can. It's your choice. It's your choice. Now, every morning I check the weather. The reason why I check the weather is because San Diego, as you know, we don't have all that horrible weather that you all have. We have horrible hot weather. That's what I think. And I like to, I like to walk through the forest, but when it's 80, 85 degrees, it's very difficult to do. So I check the weather. And the weather channel on my cell phone is majorly fear-based. They even screwed up. They had a video of this news reporter standing in knee-deep water talking about the storms and the floods and all the people were trapped and blah, 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 blah. And behind him, probably, 500 feet, 1,000 feet, I don't know distance, there was people just walking across the street, and the water that was on the street was probably a quarter of an inch, like this much water. It was nothing. So it's like this weather person found the biggest hole to stand in so the water could be up to his knees, and then they flash on 5 channels videos of destruction, the power of the storm, the destruction. This place was demolished. Wow. And then what does that do? Do you feel happy? No. Are you fearful? Oh, hell yes, you are. People don't like California because they fear earthquakes. They've never been to California. They've never experienced maybe an earthquake. How many earthquakes have I experienced in my lifetime? 3. I have been lucky to skip the major ones. And one of the big earthquakes that was here in San Diego on Easter, my guides showed me how I was taken out of my body. Now, I didn't know I was taken out of body. I wasn't conscious of it at the time. I turned my head. They had me focus on Egypt because my master guide's from Egypt. So I was focused on Egypt. To me, it was a split second. It was, I hear a man from Egypt. He's not there. I wonder where he is. I wonder what happened. Turn my head. During that one time that I was thinking those thoughts, I was standing in a 7.3 earthquake. The one that just demolished a city in the Philippines Indonesia or something like that, and had a tsunami. A 7.3 earthquake in California is nothing. So I don't even know how long it lasted. But to me, I was only turned my head a second. And that leads me to one point I want to make. That time isn't real. I don't care what your age is. Once you leave the planet, like my dear departed ex-husband, he will see, and he has seen, and you will see one day, that the whole time that you've been on this planet, maybe 5 minutes passed. It's a 60, it's a 50, it's a 80, it's a 90-year time for you, but it's not. Not in reality, it's not. It's a second. So, how do you release your fears? Well, why do you have fear? Do you know why now? If this was live and you could answer me, that'd be great. So I'm just going to assume that some of you do and some of you don't. So I'm going to go over it again. You fear because of what you've been taught. You fear because of what you were trained. You fear because of the commercials. You fear because of the advertisements. You fear because of television, because of the movies, because of being robbed, being raped, being murdered. You know, everything you fear. Oh, heck, let me tell you what else I did yesterday. I posted this on my Facebook page that I went into the forest. I took pictures of all the water and earth elementals and posted it all over Facebook. And while I was walking in that forest, there was a sign. And it said, be careful. I think it was a mountain lion sighting. It says, do not walk here by yourself. Well, obviously, I ignored both signs because it's good, I guess, to be warned that there might be a wild animal out there. When all of you awaken, then wild animals, guess what? They will awaken too, and they'll just be pets, like happy, loving animals, not someone who will attack you, like sharks or whatever. But, you know, people hear about shark attacks and they still go in the ocean. You can't live your life in fear because you leave the planet the way you chose to leave the planet before you came. Now, there is a possibility, and I'm not sure about this because it doesn't come from me, that you have a couple of choices, that you can leave sooner if you so choose, whatever, I don't know. But you do choose how you're going to leave the planet. So why worry about anything? I don't. My neighbor has a dog walker. She can't walk. And I've, told her I would take her dog out if the dog walker doesn't come. Sometimes she doesn't know till it's dark. She goes, well, I don't want you to walk out in the dark. And I'm like, why? What's wrong with the dark? Well, you're not safe. Of course I'm safe. What is there to fear in the dark? I love the dark. I can see the starships. I can see the moon. I can see the planets. I see the elementals on the trees. I see them in the air. I see them on the ground. I see them everywhere. It's quiet. It's pretty. It's got its own natural beauty. Focus on beauty. Focus on love. Focus on positive affirmations. And release all your fear-based knowledge, fear-based information. Don't hover over your children and instill fear on them. Be careful. Don't do that. You might hurt yourself. I know, let me see here. Car accidents. If you're going to die in a car accident, transition off the planet, you're only going to leave if you get into an accident and it's your time to go. You're not going to leave. I don't care how bad the accident is. I'll give you another example. My third husband, when he came back from Iraq, he was full of PTSD. He turned into a major alcoholic. He was a crazy man. He was crazy. And why was he crazy? He lived in fear every day of his life for 18 months. And that's your environment. You don't know who you can trust, who's going to rob you, who's going to bomb you, who's going to kill you, who's going to shoot you. What crazy, weird bugs that they have and things humongous. I can't remember the names of them. He sent me pictures of them. I mean, all of it is fear-based. Military people who go on the line, they all have PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. And they're told that they can't get rid of it. So if you believe you can't get rid of it, you won't get rid of it. Duh. Anyway, one night he went out. He drank, I don't know, a whole bottle of alcohol at a bar. Then he got in his car. And he was wasted, drunk. And he was driving on the on-ramp to the freeway, 70 miles an hour, and crashed into a parked semi-tractor trailer. That, you would believe, is total death. Or if you survive something like that, paralyzed, something bad. Well, seeing that he just got out recently, he heard the crash that he caused, and in his mind, he was back in Iraq and a bomb went off. So the first thing he did was jump out of his car and lay on the ground. Nothing was broken. The car, if I showed you a picture of it, was like an accordion. And all he had was a lacerated knee that required 25 stitches. That was it. It was not his time. He's a born-again, devout Christian. He doesn't believe what I believe. To this day, he doesn't believe what I believe. Even the experiences he's had, go figure. There was another time he was in the ocean when he was a child and he almost drowned. He didn't at that time know how to swim. He's an excellent swimmer now. But he didn't know how to swim. He almost drowned in the ocean. And a voice told him, "It's not your time yet." And the next minute, he was at the shore. He was lifted out of the ocean and thrown to the shore. He doesn't remember it. He only remembers he thought he was drowning. He doesn't know how he got to the shore. And trust me, he still doesn't believe me that he was saved and it wasn't his time to go. So you see, there are people who will not follow the truth for whatever reason. There's nothing you can do about it. They're not your concern. They need to learn. They need to experience more drama, more grief, more sadness. That's just how it is. And you can't change anyone. You can only work on yourself. And you have to be open and willing to do it. Or you just fall back into it's easy for you. As much as you hate it, you thrive in drama. A lot of you just thrive in it. It's like your essence of life. That's all right, though. You know, it's a choice that you make. I'm just telling you that if you have friends who are like that, relatives or whatever, you can't change them and don't even try. So my point of bringing up the accident was, then there was a girl that he worked with. She got drunk and she drove her car into a tree. Now, she wasn't on a freeway driving 70 miles an hour. She was just in a regular neighborhood. She wasn't even driving that fast. But it was her time to go, because when she hit the tree, she died instantly. Her time, that's it. That's my point. So why fear it? Why fear something you chose and that nothing bad's going to come of it? Why fear sickness when you create it? I am healthy every day of my life. And if you attach yourself to something, clear it out of your system. You are your own healer. You are your own doctor. I mean, of course, unless if you broke something, you need to get a cast, or you might need an appendix taken out or something like that. That's what you use the doctor for. But other than that, I'd stay away. I mean, someone today asked me if chemo was the only way to cure cancer. You see how many people are still not aware? Don't fear cancer, and if you get it, don't fear dying from it, and don't fear it at all. Go get yourself CBD oil, and it'll cure your cancer. I don't even care if it's stage 4 and your doctor said you're on your deathbed dying. It will cure you if you're supposed to be cured. That's how it works. So don't be in fear because you can't raise your vibration and frolic with the angels, the mermaids, in the unicorns, the rainbows, the beauty of this planet. There's so many people right now connecting with me about their fears. And it's all here. How you think, what you say. I hate my life goes from thoughts of negativity all the way down, and then bam, just like a vacuum cleaner, you sucked up all the fearful energy of the whole world. And then you're ready to kill yourself. You're ready to take your life. That's what it does to you. There's so much positivity. And the biggest positivity is don't even look outside of yourself. You are your own creator. You create bad, you create good. You create illness, you create health. You create love, you create trauma. You create good relationships, you create bad relationships. You create everything that happens to you. You do it. And if you don't follow your guidance, take your time out to rest, if that's what you're guided to do. If you don't take time out to change who you are, the universe will do it for you. That's how it works. If you need to leave your job and you don't leave your job, you will be fired. The universe gets you fired. Your boss doesn't fire you. That's not reality. That's how it comes out, but that's not why it happened. There's no power here. There's only love here and fear. Take yourself out of the fear energy. The only way you're going to do it is to stop talking about it, stop thinking about it, stop creating it for yourself. I mean, let's just say some examples here. You fear getting sick. I am always healthy. No one on this planet gives me anything. You fear getting a job. It's hard to get a job. I don't know if I'll get a job. I don't even know what I know. And I know. Negative, 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 negative. No. You want a job? I always get the best job. I always get the right job for me. And then put out what it is that you want. You want to create a position. What do you want? Do you want to be selling? Do you want to be behind an office? In an office behind a desk? Do you want to be moving? Do you want to be active? Do you want to be with people? Do you not want to be with people? Do you want to work 9 to 5? Do you want to work weekends? Do you want to work graveyard? You put out what you want, and that's what the job you'll get when it's right for you, or if it's right for you. That's how it works. So you don't fear it. If you just lost your job and you have no money, don't fear it. Write a letter to your angels and ask them for money. I'm a great manifester. I can have whatever I want. I can manifest money. I can manifest a relationship. I can manifest an apartment. Because you can. Whatever it is that you want, you visualize it in your mind. You see yourself having it. You ask for it. You thank them. And you don't worry about it. And I know it's the not knowing. Sometimes it could drive you crazy. But trust it. It will show up when you least expect it. Everything just shows up when the time is right, or you're guided, or you're sent somewhere. Have a relationship with your higher self only. Have a relationship with your guides only, and let them guide you on your path. You don't need to be in control of anything. You're about releasing control. Releasing it. Don't get mad at your neighbors for doing certain things. Just ask the angels to take care of it. Ask the angels to take care of everything. They will. That's what they're there for. One day you're going to be an angel and people are going to be asking you to do the same thing for them. What are you going to say? No. I had to throw that in there. But anyway, let's see if there's anything. I don't know. I think you get my point. Fear is very easy to release by changing your thoughts. You could write down all the things that you think that are negative. And then what you do with all of that, that's what I think you ought to do, is get a list and separate love, fear. What is I love? What comes easy to me? On the other side, all the things that you fear. Write down what you fear, but don't keep it. Because what I want you to do is, like, let's say I fear the dark. I don't know. Just to give you an example. Okay, so you wrote this down. Yeah, I do fear the dark. So cross it out and then write, I love the dark. I am happy in the nighttime. The nighttime is full of love and angels, and I see them all the time. Then say that. Okay? Take everything. Actually, it's probably better not to write down what you fear, because writing things down is very powerful just as much as thinking it. So any fear-based thought, stop it and turn it into a positive. So I can never get hired. I always get the job I want. Being employed is easy for me. Do you see? You started your own business and you need clients. Clients come to me easily. I'm always busy. I'm busy every day or every night or every weekend or whatever. You see, everything reverse. That's all you have to do. That's how you get rid of it. And some of you can't do it on your own. You can seek counseling. You can seek me out. I had a guy call me this morning whose fiance tried to kill herself yesterday, and she lives in total fear energy, and so I didn't talk to her, but I talked to him and helped him see how he could help her and how to see things differently, because like I said, it takes practice. So I would really appreciate it if you left me any comments. You email me at Maxine at reikibymaxine.com. If you need some guidance, if you need some help, my door is always open, because I'm here for you. Please share this, and please take note of this, because before I go, I want to remind you that positively, there's a lot more people awakening, and The more people awaken, spreads more light to this planet. You might not be aware of it, but it is happening. And so much good is happening that you're not aware of. So don't fear elections and presidents and all that crap, because you don't need to. You don't need to depend on other people to save you, because you only can save yourself. Only you can do it. Nobody else can. So stop worrying about your retirement and all of that garbage, because right now it's all being posted negatively. Think about it. It's negative to keep you in fear, to control you. That's it. That is it. Do you want these people to control you? Do you want to continue being a puppet? Do you want to be sad, depressed, suicidal? No, you don't. So stop it now. I got off on my tangent again and forgot what I forget exactly what I just said. I channel a lot of this, so I got to catch it fast or it disappears. I'm going to kick myself when I remember and I sign off this video, but any case, as you can see, I'm real. I live in a human body too. I do make mistakes. I do get upset. Fear will cross my mind about some certain things every once in a while, but I get out of it quick. And I focus on loving myself. So mostly everything bounces right off of me. It just, nobody hurts me like they used to. So I'm a very sensitive person, and I used to cry all the time. Not too fearful of a lot of things, but fear of, maybe getting hired and stuff like that. Just those kind of fears. But during those times I learned, because I saw how I got jobs. I analyzed, I put 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3 together, and it makes so much sense. And then I would test it. So I've been doing this since the 60s, actually. And it just increases day by day. Day by day, I get more information. And day by day, I know more than I knew yesterday. Minute by minute, I know more this minute than I knew the previous minute. And it's exciting and it's fun. And I don't go to school. And I don't read other people's stuff. Now, of course, you need to start out that way if you're a newbie. Try to get as much personal guidance just for yourself as you can, because really you have your own answers. And then, you're led to me. You're led to me because this is my mission. And I guide you, help you see what I see. It's clear to me. Like, you look the sun, I can see all the intricacies that simply, everything. To me, it's like, I don't know why you don't see it. And I get it. At first I didn't share this stuff because I figure you all know what I know. But that's how it is. Like, you came to this planet as a singer, and singing to you is easy. It's not easy to me. I can't do it. And I think, how do you do it? Blah, blah, blah. Same thing with everything. You have a gift, find it. You have a passion, find it. And every day you wake up, write down affirmations, read them every morning. Read them before you go to bed. Do you know when whatever you think of before you go to bed at night sets your whole day for the next day? And you remember more so. Like when you were studying for a test, you always wanted to review just before you went to sleep, because when you woke up, it's there in your head. So this is the things that you need to review before you go to sleep at night, is positive affirmations. And when you find yourself fearing something, stop and look. What is it about this situation that created fear in me? Why do I fear it? And I'm now going to release it and use the steps. But if you come across a fear that you don't know how to release, then ask me. Ask me and I will tell you. It might take 24, 48 hours if it's email. If you're a Facebook friend, send it to me on Messenger. Maxine, how do I release fear of whatever? And I will tell you. Okay? Anyway, it's time to go. It's time to say goodbye. And this is a 55-minute video. I hope you stayed and watched the whole thing. And if not, I hope you save part of it and you come back and listen to the rest. And remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. There is nothing real that's fear. Only falsities are fear-based. And anything you hear on the news now, what to worry about, what to watch for, what to concern yourself over, don't listen to it. It's a damn lie. That's what it is. And big L-I-E. I think you got it. I hope you got it. Let me know if you got it. Just give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, whatever. Be blessed. Love you all.